Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to another great edition of The Hop, a craft beer podcast with your boys, Gabe and Steven. We are here to do what I just said. Drink some beer, have some laughs, have some fun. We're so excited for you to be joining us. As always, my name is Gabriel Apria. I am your co-host, and with me, as always, you may have seen him at USC. You may have seen him in New Hampshire doing Guys and Dolls, saying things like, "Hey, yous guys." Give it up for the one, the only, Steven Geronimo Humes.
Wow, that was quite an intro. Yeah, I almost hit the applause drop there just because it felt weird for you to do that and there'd be no applause, but it felt really self-serving to do that for myself.
I gave you applause. That's all you need.
Yeah, welcome in, everybody. I am here. We are back in, on my side, back in sunny California, which I'm very excited about. And to celebrate that, we are featuring a Los Angeles brewery, Los Angeles staple, I would say, Smog City Brewery. This is a brewery that crushes on the Los Angeles craft beer scene, based technically out of Torrance, but they run a bunch of locations. Really cool brewery we're excited to get into. Had these beers for a while, so this is going to be very fun. Thank you for joining us. Crack a beer of your own and settle in for the next hour while we take you on a Los Angeles beer tour.
Get comfy, people.
We have plenty to do today. A little bit of news to talk about and some all the good things. So let's just dive into it. I should begin the show like we always do by telling you that we are available to follow on the social media. You can find us. We are at the HO Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads.net.
We figured it out, guys. We're on there. It's like the Instagram Twitter, but better.
It's like Twitter, but without the spam. I'm kind of into it. I hope that it takes
fun.
off.
Yeah.
You can follow our personals. I'm at Shakesbeerist on all of those platforms. Gabe is at Gaberade67. Connect with the show. Connect with us. We love connecting with our Hophead family. Let us know if you have any requests or suggestions or feedback. We love to hear it. You can hit us up in our DMs. You can send us an email, thehopod@gmail.com. You can find the show on YouTube if you'd like to watch the show. If you're a watch the podcast kind of person, youtube.com, just search for the Hop, a Craft Beer Podcast. Once you find us, subscribe, click that bell. You will get notified when episodes go live. And finally, wherever you listen, please rate and review the show on your podcast platform of choice if it allows you to do that. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever you are. We appreciate the feedback. It helps us make the show better for you each and every week. And while you're at it, maybe turn to the person to your right and tell them about the hop. Now turn to the person to your left and tell them about the hop. Spread the word. Help grow the hop community here. We appreciate it.
Let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. I'm still on this kick from last episode about telling your enemies about the show. Tell your enemies. They need something to listen to. When you're done fighting, you can crack open a beer together and become friends.
Tell strangers.
We are the answer.
Tell anyone you want. Honestly, hey, if you're voting for the president and you don't like the names, write in the Hop, a Craft Beer Podcast. We'll spread the word. I don't think we're going to win. But, if we did, we'd step up to the plate.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to announce that Steven and I are running for co-president of the United States of America. We approve this message. We will make beer free. That's our first stamp of approval. First
and main order of business. I don't know what's going on geopolitically. I don't know what's going on in other countries. But why can't we ship beer from California to Connecticut? Let's figure that out.
Number fucking one.
Okay, let's get into the news.
Beer news.
Okay, pretty light weekend news, but we have a couple of things that we can talk about here. First of all, tickets for the 2023 Gab are now on sale. That's the Great American Beer Festival.
It's that lean back.
I have to get far away from the mic whenever I do that.
That way it doesn't blow out the speaker. Yeah, I get it.
It's in Denver. It's always in Denver. And let's go. Gabe, free your schedule. We're going to the Gab.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the dealio. We need to do this at least once to say we did.
I know.
Not even for the show, just personally, I just want to be there. This looks like fun. It sounds like fun. It's a great American beer festival. emphasis on the festival. They probably have food trucks and stuff. Like, it's probably just such a good time. Denver is a lot of fun. I've been there once. Good times all around.
It's a great city. As a beer drinker, there are certain events in life that you want to mark on your calendars. Oktoberfest is one. The Gab is another. And while we're in America, I'll also say Russian River, Pliny the Younger release is a third. Moving on, Twisted Tea is releasing a high ABV version at 8% ABV. Where are the people
here?
Where
are the friends?
I don't even know where they are on this soundboard. So there they are.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Twisted Tea is truly one of, you've had it, I have not, but to me it's truly one of the most disgusting
You have
possible
not had it.
No, I don't like iced tea in general.
So part of me wants to say keep it that way. Another part of me wants to say try this 8% one. It's not going to taste good, but it'll get you feeling good.
I've had obviously like hard lemonade and I've had hard seltzer. I've just Twisted Tea. I remember when that first came on the market and I was like, I was not even really old enough to be drinking yet. But even I, at that time, was like, what? Like, who? Why are we doing this?
I don't care how cheap it is. No, thank you, please. Yeah.
But if you drink it, you can get it at 8% now.
There we go. At least you'll be feeling something. At the very least, that's the least they could do.
And we don't often talk about new product releases like this, but I just wanted to mention this is for me. This is for me and my people.
This is 140,000% for Steven. Go ahead.
Former Bachelorette JoJo Fletcher has launched a spritz, and it is called Saint Spritz, and it's available on saintspritz.com or in certain locations in California. It's a 5% ABV wine-based spritz in a 12-ounce can. And you know what? She's getting on her platform. She's doing it with her sister-in-law. And go support JoJo, because she's got to keep that Bachelorette fame running. Thoughts?
Because it runs out, right? When you leave the show after a couple years.
Oh, it sure can. That shit can fizzle out quick.
This isn't the JoJo that used to sing, right? This is a different JoJo.
I don't know.
Great.
I didn't do enough research on this I have no idea who she is. But
yeah, that show.
And we'll leave it there. Moving on, the main story we have to talk about, and I'm not even going to play the music because it truly is. It truly is a bummer, and it's very depressing. Anchor Brewing. This will be semi-old news by the time this episode drops, but Anchor Brewing is shutting down. Anchor Brewing is or was the nation's oldest craft brewery. I've been there. It's based in San Francisco, and it was founded in like the 1800s or something like that, like the late 1800s. It's ceasing operations. The business is going to be liquidated. The public relations firm announced this about a week ago. They had been sold to Sapporo in 2017, so that wasn't old news, but Sapporo has decided to shutter it. They're citing, quote, a combination of challenging economic factors and declining sales since 2016.
Boo.
It truly sucks. I mean, it's a place that when you go there, there's so much history in that building. There's so much, their brewing process, like their brewing tanks don't look like anything that you are used to in a modern brewery.
No, because they've been doing it for so long, and their motto is probably, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which is a great motto to live by, and they're probably doing it right. What sucks is the workers are basically blaming Sapporo, saying that, like, you know, they just tried to do too much. They tried to build too much. They killed off brands like the Christmas Ale, which was, I think that was on our first Christmas episode, and that beer like blew my mind. I loved it, and they killed it off. So it's like, I mean, you can't get rid of what was working, guys.
So Anchor has been on our show twice, round 27 and round 52. That was our first 4th of July episode and our first Christmas episode. And we had their steam beer, which was this beer that they would brew with, there was like something about actual steam in the build, and they like use the steam to brew it. And it just had this real tradition. I mean, this is a company that survived the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco. It was the official date of the founding was 1896. So this brewery was around for 127 years. And yeah, there's a lot of coverage of this story in VinePair if you're interested. It was written about everywhere. This is covered in the New York Times. It's been covered obviously in Brewbound and stuff, but Dave Infante at Brewbound and a number of writers, or at VinePair, and a number of writers there are doing some work kind of talking to the workers there. And they're just saying, they killed off these brands. They were trying to upgrade facilities to brew Sapporo out of Anchor's space, which is not what that brewery was equipped to do. They just mismanaged the brand is the bottom line.
Yeah, and that's so sad to see, especially with an awesome brewery like Anchor,
Yeah. It's not remotely surprising. I mean, a company like Sapporo that doesn't understand the history of the company they're buying and let's be frank about it, just doesn't respect it, is not going to handle it well. So, it's something that is extremely depressing. Hopefully not something we see often, but I mean, these big companies, Stone is owned by someone big now. New Belgium obviously is. I mean, there's so many that have been bought out by these big international companies, and you just hope that they can keep the essence of the thing alive. I mean, we understand why small breweries end up getting bought or having to sell. We understand the economics of that, but it's definitely depressing when you see the heart of the thing get sucked out.
We don't have time to read all of it, but this article on VinePair, I mean, you can go read some of these quotes by these former workers. They're not
pissed.
Pleased. They're being honest, and you know what? I mean, we don't understand the business side of. We only understand so much, I should say, of the business side of breweries and brewing, and it's a business at the end of the day. But sometimes, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And don't try to, put in another type of beer if this is specific, yada, yada, yada. I don't own a brewery, but...
It's just, this one, again, we have to talk about brewery closures on this show quite often. It's the nature of the business. We understand all these things, but to see a brewery that has been around for 127 years and is the first American craft brewery shut its doors is a moment that is worth marking. So Anchor, thank you for your years of service. Rest in peace. You will be missed.
If we find your beers, we will be buying them because we'll have to raise a couple toasts for you. Well, let's give you we'll give you your due on this episode as well.
For sure. All right, let's switch Hollywood. The vibe up.
Let's get happy again.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
See happy music. A toast to the brewery we are featuring today, Smog City Brewing. And we're using the words of William Itoon. He's some dude from Scotland, and he lived in the 1800s, and he wrote a poem. Here we go. Ah, liberty, how like thou art to this large bottle lying here, which yesterday from foreign mart came filled with potent English beer. A touch of steel, a hand, a gush, a pop that sounded far and near. A wild emotion, liquid rush, and I had drunk that English beer. And what remains? An empty shell, a lifeless form both sad and queer, a temple where no god doth dwell, the simple memory of beer. Aw.
Don't you love people from Scotland?
I didn't even have to fade the music. I just nailed it timing-wise. Just got it right on the nose.
How often did you practice before we started this episode?
Not once, and that's what makes it cool. Let's drink some beer.
I forgot which beer I poured first because they look kind of similar. That would have been a miss. I got it. I'm good.
Okay. We're kicking things off with this is a brewery that definitely has a wide variety of beers, but they are known for IPAs, and we're starting with one of their Smog Days series. It's called their Twilight Wedge Hazy IPA. This is third in their Smog Days series. It's got an ABV of 6.2%. We do not know the IBU information. Beer Advocate has no rating. Untapped 3.9. And here it is in the glass, freshly poured. It's hazy, as advertised. Drinking out of my Super Bowl 51 glass in honor of Los Angeles, who hosted it. Los Angeles
There
Brewery.
you go.
See?
I've got my beer mug, thank beer emoji, as I call it, my beer emoji mug, and looks like pineapple juice.
Yeah, it's
and
interesting.
It smells like pineapple, and I haven't even really taken a sip yet. I can already smell it.
Oh wow! It poured with this. It's very like pale light yellow. I would say SRM chart wise, I'm probably putting it around a 2 or a 3, probably a 3. But it's not. It did not have much head at all, and very little lacing. It really does look like pineapple juice. It almost looks like nearly flat. I mean, it's not, but that's just how it appears. It's interesting. From the brewery, Smog Days Hazy IPA series is an innovative lineup of 6 unique, thirst-quenching hazy IPA beers released throughout the year, an exciting expression of Smog City Brewing Company's love of searching for the ultimate hop combination. The Smog Days Hazy IPA series ensures you always have a fresh and new hazy IPA to explore. And in referencing this one specifically, they said Twilight Wedge ignites your senses with big stone fruit and citrus notes loaded with Waititi, Citra, and Equinox hops. This hazy IPA takes you to the edge of perfection.
Hey, freaking man. Steven, have you seen the Twilight movies or read any of those books?
Sure haven't, Gabe.
Me neither. Let's drink about it.
Most definitely have not. No, but in... I don't know. I've seen Harry Potter. Does that count?
It does not, because it's not Twilight.
Robert Pattinson's in that.
He's in that one movie. Yeah.
And then he dies. Okay. It smells like citrus. It smells hazy. It smells like what it's supposed to smell like. It's all the citrus. I think it's a little bit slightly less tropical than some hazy IPAs can be on the nose specifically. It's definitely got that like orange rind, that pithy quality, a little bit of grapefruit. I mean, the tropical is there. The pineapple is definitely there. But I don't get as much like guava or super sweet citrus as I sometimes do. This one feels a little bit earthier on the nose, if that makes any kind of sense.
I would agree with that. And I would also see your analysis and raise you I haven't tried it yet, but I think this might go well on the beach. It smells tropical. It smells pineapple. I'm getting like the faintest little hint of coconut, maybe. But I don't know. This might be good drinking out of a coconut. So I just immediately thought of palm trees when I smelled it. It like the sense, like my senses like took me there. So we'll see if that's happening on the taste. But yeah, you were right about that. I'm not getting a lot of guava, but pineapple is very strong.
Well, and the sort of grassy quality, I think, the straw and hay, like the malt obviously isn't that present, but there is sort of a bed of something, again, earthy, kind of stringy, definitely grassy is a good way to put it. On the nose. We'll see if that happens on the taste. I never thought of drinking an IPA out of a coconut before. But you know what? I'm down to clown. I'll try anything once.
Steven, someone's got to do it, and why not us?
Why not us? We are professionals. Okay, shall we consume this beer?
Cheers to you. Cheers to Smog City. And I also cheers to Anchor. We'll miss you. Wow. It's a lot more drinkable than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes down so easily. The carbonation is very, very subtle, in my opinion, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's got a little bit of a zesty kind of bitterness to it in the back, but it's not fruity. It's flavorful. It's citrus. It's pineapple. It's a little mango. It's tropical. It is a little soft in the mouth, I'll say. A little soft on the palate. Like I said, it's very easy to go down. It's classic hazy IPA, 6.2%. It doesn't taste like 6.2. It tastes a little less, which is leaning more toward the dangerous area.
Yeah, I would agree completely. I think it's very drinkable. It is, it's citrusy, of course, but there's like other fruit in there that's more, stone fruit, more pear, something lighter, melon a little bit, some honeydew. I mean, it's Ooh. Definitely like a lighter citrus. Again, it's not mango guava as much as it's just more stone fruit, maybe some white grape, a little bit of apple. It's floral. It's got some lavender in it. It's got some, a lot of the kind of straw, grassy, grainy thing I was talking about, husky a little bit. And the hops are like the Yukon dog.
Hell yeah, my alma mater.
I was thinking like a corn husk, like the earthy quality of that.
Yeah,
but sure, whatever you say.
Go Yukon, we won. Go Yukon. We're the best. It's what we do.
It's very drinkable. To just highlight that one more time, I agreed. It's soft in the mouth. It's carbonated right where you want it. The hops are not bitter. There's just not. It doesn't have a bite to it. It's very true to form. Very hazy IPA. And it leaves your mouth with a lingering kind of, I guess it's bitterness, but it's definitely kind of spicy or zesty or, it's on the nose. I don't really know what to say about it. It's a hazy IPA.
It's a fun bitterness aftertaste, It
does the job. Like if you like hazy IPAs, this one will do you just fine because it definitely is right in line. I don't think, it's one of those beers we say sometimes no twists or turns on this. Right down the line.
Would be great in a flight. Probably beer number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Depending on what else you have. Big fan. Wish I had more. Can is really dope. Bob will talk about that later.
Bob will talk about the can. We should talk about the company a little bit.
Hell yeah.
As we sit here sipping it. So, Smog City, I will just start by saying they're a family-owned and operated brewery, and it's one of those breweries living in LA. When you see it on a beer shelf, you just go, yeah, I trust that. It's just one that is gonna be craft and gonna do the job. Like I'm trying to think of one in New York that compares where you just like see it and you go, yep, that's gonna win every time. 6 point maybe.
Oh, for me it's KCBC, but that's because they are literally in my backyard and I see their beers everywhere and the cans are just insane.
Other half is another good one.
Other half, absolutely.
Yeah.
Other half I might maybe even a little bit more because I have yet to have a bad beer from them. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've been to Smog City. You passed by. You did a ding dong ditch. You did a hit and run. What did you do?
Nope, I've never been anywhere near it. I should though. It's not far. They have 4 locations. They have one that they do in kind of a joint space in Glendale. They have like an offshoot. I think it's in Glendale or maybe it's somewhere else. I'll get on that. Their main space is in Torrance, California, which is basically, these are all suburbs or neighborhoods of Los Angeles. They have one in Long Beach, which is a little bit further outside Los Angeles, but definitely doable. They have, that's their thing called Steel Craft, which is kind of like a tap room thing in a sort of industrial space. And then they opened Smog City West, which is also in Torrance, but it's just a smaller location.
Nice.
Glendora, not Glendale. You see
I've never heard of Glendora.
Neither have I until this very moment.
And you live there. That's embarrassing.
But that one there's a public market in Glendora and they opened a space there. So I've never been to any of these locations, but it is readily available. But I've had plenty of their beers before. The place was founded in 2011 It was founded by Jonathan and Laurie Porter, and they started operating out of a brew pub called Tustin Brewing Company. It was not their own space originally. Outgrew that pretty quickly. In 2013, they ended up moving to their original Torrance location, which is what is behind me. You can see barrels on barrels on barrels, Michael. Thoughts?
Exclamation
Over
point!
here, and then this
Feeder, fodder, fooder, fodder, fitter, fatter,
they
fodder.
might have a fooator fighter fooder.
Fooator. I like that. That one's new. Add that to the list.
You know what I love is like thinking about people that don't listen to us regularly, that just tuned in for this and just don't understand what we're doing.
You got to go back and listen to a couple more episodes to know what the hell's going on.
Sort through it.
Go ahead.
And then, so the space you're at, Gabe, is that Steelcraft?
I believe so. I've got this fun little patio area,
Outdoor
outdoorsy
area.
It looks very nice. It looks like a fun summer's eve to go drink some beer. So Jonathan and Laurie Porter are great people for starting the brewery, but for other reasons. Laurie is currently serving as the 2023 board chair for the California Craft Brewers Association. Amen. Let's freaking go. And I found this awesome quote by Jonathan that I just loved from the website that I just had to read. Anyone who says they don't like beer just hasn't had the right one yet. Amen, Jonathan. You get it.
Yay!
Yes, we
Yay,
agree.
David. Yay.
Yay, David. So the Steelcraft thing in Long Beach, they started that in 2017. They said basically it's a repurposed outdoor food hall made entirely of recycled shipping containers. I believe, I'm not certain, that if you're watching on YouTube, that is where Gabe is. Like, he's kind of in a parking lot set up. I think
I'm in the
that's
recycling.
It's hard to tell for sure, but it's an outdoor beer garden that they have. And then I mentioned the other locations. So lots of different things going on, lots of opportunities to get your hands on their beer. We'll talk about what they have on tap in a little bit. They also ship around California, I do believe. And I will make sure of that while we talk about other things.
They are 1% for the planet. They're giving back. They have a community impact series. They're working with parks. They're working with the community. They're trying to give back. They make beers for events and for organizations. Park Hopper West Coast IPA, brewed in collaboration with Parks California. Kumquat Saison, brewed in partnership with Food Forward. Pure Project Brewing, the Bay Foundation, all different animal and environmental foundations they work with, and they give back to the community.
Yeah, so we've had a few of these. Actually, Zero Gravity was our last episode, and they're also 1% for the planet. But just if you're uninitiated, this is a certification, a group that you can be certified as, and it basically means that 1% of your gross sales are donated to environmental nonprofits. So it's a thing. It's kind of like seeing the independent craft label on a can. If you're on YouTube, you can see it. You see the independent craft label, which is an upside down bottle. Above that, you see 1% for the planet. And it's a logo you can put on your can, and it just tells people that by purchasing this beer, you are contributing to the overall good of the planet Earth. So
Give me a hell yeah!
yes. Much like Steve Austin himself.
He gives back, I hear.
He
maybe.
gives something. He gives something.
He made a beer and it was on our show, so you know what? He gave us that. That's all. And as a child, he gave me entertainment when he was wrestling and beating people up.
Should we do some final thoughts here on this beer? I want to say, now that we've been drinking it a little bit, that there's some fun lacing going down the side. Kind of a soapy, sudsy little bit of lacing. So
I
I'd
got
like
a
to
little
see that
too, yeah.
in a hazy IPA. Just means there's some legs there. It's very good and interesting. It's a different hop combination than we normally see. We don't have Waititi hops very often, so that's nice. I might be mispronouncing that. Waiti. I don't know.
Roll with it. They'll never know.
But it's for the IPA. It's for the hazy IPA people. If that's what you like, this will do it. Does the job.
That's the one thing. Like if you hate the style, you might not be happy. But If you like pineapple, you're gonna love it. It's like I said, very easy to drink. If you're looking for something, I would also categorize this as like an after work beer. You know, you don't really want to like with this beer. We're obviously doing it. We're dissecting it. We're thinking about it. We're giving it its due. But I feel like this could be a beer that you don't necessarily need to think about if you don't want to.
Yes. It's exactly. This is a thing we've talked about it in the past, but you know, when you're stocking your beer fridge, you want your event beers, and then you want what I call the vanilla ice cream of beers. You know, the ones you can just crack open, they do the job, they work, and you don't have to wrap your brain around anything or go on some wild journey. You're just trying to watch a TV show, unwind, and and unplug the brain, and this is perfect for that.
Yeah. Or, you know, you're still at work and you're with a very progressive company that does like 4 p.m. happy hours, and there's a guy walking around with a cart and he passes out beers. I have a friend who worked for a company that did this, and I was like, where can I get an application, my man? And he
was that like one of those internet tech companies? Like I knew somebody that worked for Twitch once, and that was kind of the vibe. It was like
dope.
This was before Twitch was Twitch, but
it's a company called Toast, and basically they make digital like menus for restaurants.
Yeah, they're like a POS system.
Yeah, essentially. Like if you go into any restaurant, you'll see the little Toast icon. Mm-hmm. That's them. But my buddy, he was like, first things first, move to Chicago. Damn it. Second thing, he was like, yeah, like come join the team. I think it was every Thursday or every Friday at 4 p.m. There's a guy who walks around with a cart and he passes out beers while you're working. I'm like, I mean, I work from home, but still, damn, listen, that sounds fun.
I'll stay in the chair an extra hour if you throw a beer in my hand.
Absolutely.
We're good. I'm really excited about this next beer. I'll just be honest about it. It was one of those things, you know, sometimes when we're buying beer for the show, we try to be well-rounded. We try to find styles that aren't normally our go-to, but I saw this one and I said, I got to do it. I have got to do it. So we're going to dive into that right now.
Yay, little switcheroo.
Yeah.
We've got the 12th anniversary DIPA, bro.
DIPA. It's a DIPA, bro.
It's a DIPA. It is a double IPA. Look at the can. If you're on YouTube, it is glorious. It is 8.3%. No IBUs. Beer Advocate gave us a giant middle finger. Untapped gave it a 3.96. And if you are on the cameras, this is what it looks like poured in the glass. It's on camera, it looks very pale yellow. In person, it looks a little more orange. It looks like a classic West Coast style. I don't believe it is, but it kind of has that amber orangey color to it. Steven's given it a nice pour. Look at him go. From the brewery, this 12th anniversary double IPA is as big, bold, and beautiful as Smog City and the 12 incredible years we've spent brewing for our amazing community. Crafted with Citra, Centennial, and Strata hops, 12th anniversary double IPA shines with bright citrus, ripe tropical fruit, and white gummy bears, for a punch and delicious drinking experience.
So
gummy bears.
That's, yeah, we'll put a pin in that. We're coming back to that. But it's, you have a bear shirt on. Look at that.
Grateful Dead bear dunking a basketball shirt.
Beautiful.
Classic Gabe.
I just want to comment, since I just poured it, on how it looks in the glass, because it actually is looking very West Coast to me, because it's very clear. Lots of bubbles coming up in the bottom. Good head retention, very frothy, creamy. White to off-white head with like a lot of retention, and it's hard to tell the lacing from here. I would bet we'll see some, but it's definitely, I wasn't sure what we were going to get in terms of color. I wasn't sure if we were going to be darker, but I do think it's you know, it's golden. It's kind of sunshine. I would put it not far off from the last one, probably more around a 4 or a 5.
Yeah, same. Like I said, when we first sat down and we went to go pick up the first beer, I was like, crap,
like
which one's
one?
The first one?
Yeah.
Like, because they look kind of similar.
But it's definitely differs from the last one in that it's absolutely not hazy. It's very clear. And that hop bill that you mentioned, Centennial, Strata, and Citra, especially with the Centennial, I think that's going to be packing a little bit more of a bitter punch, probably more in line with the West Coast style. But we love a DIPA. And also, I kind of, maybe it's just a mental thing. Whenever I see like anniversary beer, whenever I see that 12th anniversary, 10th anniversary, I'm like, I'm buying it because you know that they went all out for that beer.
That's the thing though. The anniversary beers are always like a lot better than the normal. Not that the first guy was bad or anything, but like the anniversary ales, like you said, they just go all out for. My favorite beer from, was it last year? Was it 2 years ago? Our 100th episode where we just picked our favorite beer. That was a 7th anniversary ale, you know, like, Cape May has a great, I believe it's 11th anniversary ale. It's incredible. It's a knockout every time. I'm sure this is going to be a knockout. And they've got a fun, okay, it looks like a dead girl. Oh, no.
She does look dead.
She's a bird.
On the can. What? Oh.
It's her head, and the hop flowers are like, she's like a bird.
Okay.
That's Steven doesn't like it anymore, but
okay.
I'm finding it interesting.
But it's worth mentioning that the reason we have no ratings from Beer Advocate, which we do, like, you know, those are user collected reviews, but the reason we like to give the numbers because it kind of gives a sense of how the beer community feels about the beer, and the reason we don't have them here is because they're just limited edition beers. The 12th anniversary, obviously, special event beer brewed for one purpose, and then the series that we're doing, it came out recently, and then they kind of moved on to number 4 pretty quickly. So there are some reviews, but there's not enough to accumulate a score, and that's why we have no numbers on that. So it's actually a good thing, but that's...
In the first one, it's a series, so it changes a lot.
Correct, exactly.
I wasn't rushing you, by the way. That was me talking about the turnover. No, I kind of did like a hurry up Steven motion, but that's not what I meant.
Oh, rush me away. Please, feel free.
I know it sucks that Beer Advocate didn't have reviews, but I think it's funnier to be like, yeah, they told us to go fuck ourselves.
Go fuck ourselves.
For them, so.
Now, gummy bears. There better be gummy bear smell in this beer, or I'm gonna white gummy bears. That's a very specific gummy bear to pick. Like they went with. This is not any other gummy bear. This is the white one, which
the white one,
best gummy bear for sure. Because it's kind of tropical-y. I don't know what the flavor is, but white is definitely a winner.
You know what, Steven? I don't remember the last time I had a white gummy bear. I trust you.
I don't remember the last time I had gummy bears in general, but I do know that there's certain things that stick in my mind. Red Skittle, best Skittle. Pink Starburst, best Starburst. White gummy bear wins.
Yes.
No doubt. And
Skittle,
you know what?
Skittle, yes. Starburst, or what was this? It's just
Pink Starburst.
Starburst. Yes. Also the red.
Easy.
But the pink is good. Pink is good.
I'll give you the red, but this is why they sell bags of just the Pink Starburst, I think. Or maybe it's pink and red, but they do sell bags where you can just buy just the good.
Who's eating the yellow one? The lemon?
If given the choice, you're eating the lemon to get down to the next pink. You have to get through it.
I hate people sometimes. No, I'm kidding. This is not a mountain I want to climb on right now.
The point is, when I hear white gummy bear, I think tropical. And so I like the idea that this has got that like sort of punch of bitterness, but also has some tropical behind it. We will see. I'm going to smell it now.
I smelled it. I'm not getting a lot of tropical. I'm getting West Coast style. I'm getting hoppy bitterness. There's going to be a tiny bite in the back end. I'm getting classic, like American IPA, vibes. Wow, white gummy bear. That's so specific. I just saw Pete Holmes do some stand-up recently, and he has a joke about white gummy bear. I think it is him.
It is. It's an old one. I see where they get that though. It's definitely you put your nose in it and you just know it's resinous, it's hoppy, it's piney, it's got that hop oil thing going on. There's a little bit of florality there, but it's definitely the citrus is obviously there, but it's just married with a level of dankness that we associate with the West Coast. So it's definitely got, there's some guava in this one. There's definitely citrus and grapefruit and, kind of what you expect off an IPA. But I think, you smell it and you immediately go, okay, yeah, there's no malt here. You're not really smelling the straw or the grassiness the way you were in the first one. This one is a hop bomb, and I love that. And we kind of go crazy for that these days because it's a rarity. So without further ado, we're gonna drink this white gummy bear.
L'chaim.
We like to gather, what tasting notes people have perceived in the beer before going into it, so that we kind of have a guidepost of what to look for and can put out a coherent podcast. And I would like to ask, where did you find chives? I do not get chives on this beer. I'm proud to report. I don't know why that's in this doc, but I'm going to call it out on the mics right now.
I think I saw it on, you know what? I think I saw it on Untapped.
If you got chives off this beer, it's because you just ate food that has chives in it, and you're tasting that and not the beer.
I thought it was great.
There's no chives in here, I promise.
I was like, we're gonna talk about chives, bro. It's like vibes, but it's chives, bro. This tastes.
Talk about chives.
No, there's no chives, but it's definitely a West Coast inspired. Maybe it's not a West Coast style. It's West Coast inspired.
It is. I think it is. It definitely is. It's okay. Clear. It's great. Bold. It's got the bold hops. And spoiler alert, it was brewed on the West Coast. So you know what? Damn it. It's a West Coast beer.
There we go.
California love. That
bang! Exclamation point.
That's right, Mike. Yeah, it's got all of the things I said on the nose. It's not too hard hitting and boozy, but there's definitely booze in there, but it's not like you don't drink it and go like, oh wow, I got to take my time with this. I mean, you do get the booziness, but it's fairly well balanced. It's definitely dank. It's definitely resinous. You get the citrus and the blend of the hops and stuff, and all of the other stuff kind of fades into the background. The hops are really the star of the show here.
8.3.
Nice. 8.3, you should take your time with it for sure. I mean, it's definitely not, it's not crazy. It's not a triple, but it's definitely up there. But
it's been a while since we've had a tripa. I would like another tripa soon.
Be on the lookout. Hey, listeners, send us a tripa. We will drink it.
That's the thing. Like, whenever we're looking at beers, I always look at all the options, because one of these days we're going to get one and it's going to be like, we're going to finish it and we're going to be like, all right, so how's that beer? It's really good.
If you want to hear us make a mistake, I would encourage you. These episodes are always available. You can go back and listen to round 4, which was Avery Brewing, early days. And we hadn't quite learned the art of pacing ourselves yet. And what
a time.
We were a little drunky.
What a throwback Thursday that was. That, and then our first year, the Thanksgiving episode, where we thought it'd be a good idea to drink 5.
Just slam Black is Beautifuls.
5 Black is Beautifuls. And the lowest ABV was 9%.
Yeah, that was.
And also, we finished those beers that night. I 100% slept over at Steven's house
because we are professionals and we do the job that was put in front of us.
Wow,
this beer.
I love this. This is great.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
it's it's everything you said. The malt is really not present, but you don't really need it. It's got a solid hoppy backbone to it. It tastes like a fun West Coast. It's got a little bit of the Citra. I will admit I'm not getting a whole lot of like, I taste this fruit and that fruit. I'm getting more of just like, this is a dope beer. And for me, that's great. For someone, for the connoisseurs out there who really want the flavor, there's not a tremendous amount of flavor, but there is enough to keep you interested and to keep you guessing.
I mean, there's flavor. I think it's just dominated by bitterness. I mean, there's definitely. Yeah. I think the citrus. If you wanted to pick out what citrus it is, like I'd probably go with maybe apricot or something. But there's
probably chives. Honestly, if I'm thinking about it,
you know what? Mostly chives. Yeah, and I will say there's a lingering, like on the back end, a lingering bitterness. I mean, this is definitely one that you're gonna. I don't know if I call it an event beer, but it's one that you're gonna just take your time with, and you're gonna
don't chug this. You will die.
You will die. I really hate that you pointed out that this is a bird, but you're really right. And
to be honest, I really didn't mean to. I didn't see it until just now. Like,
no, it's
the entire time I've had this beer in my home, I'm like, okay, some headless woman and some hop flowers. This is dope. And then I looked at it and I saw feet, and I was like, oh my god, this is a bird.
And that's why you are the resident expert, and I am not on can art. Well, you and your esteemed colleague,
my esteemed hot rod colleague,
Bob Ross.
Can Art and Crafts.
Bob Ross definitely listened to Grateful Dead in his time. He definitely loved them. He was probably one of the people dancing crazy like this while the concert was going on. But who cares about that right now? Because we're talking about some beers. We're going to go in order. The Twilight Wedge Hazy IPA. This is fun. We've got a rocket blasting off, and the smoke coming from the rocket is in shape of hop flowers. That's amazing. That's beautiful. It's beautiful purple and orangey colors. It looks like a fun sunset. It looks like you're above the clouds. It paints a picture. That's what Bob Ross does. He paints things. So he has an appreciation for it. Then we've got the bird. We've got this headless, eyes rolled back woman with a 12 crown with the hop body of a bird and legs, and it's weird and creepy, but who cares? It's their 12th anniversary, so get over it. It's fun. It's got a very nice, deep forest green, rich color scheme to it. There's a lot going on. This brewery is pretty good with the can artwork. They know how to do it well. They know how to do it right. If you have two beers next to each other, you know who Smog City is. So the 12th anniversary beer, it's in like the 9-8 range, but that Twilight Wedge is what puts y'all in the club. 10 out of 10. Awesome artwork. Really, really dope. Really fun, vibrant, and bright colors. Can't mistake these beers for any other beer. Bob Ross is here. Bob Ross agrees. Bob Ross is jamming out to the Grateful Dead. And that's another great edition of Can Arts and Crafts.
That purple, by the way, is really cool. It's a very cool purple can. If you're not on YouTube, you should check it out. It's not a color you see that often in beer can world. So we love it. There's a lot of beers to talk about in terms of what they have on tap, and a brewery like this that has so much history, we might as well just go with what this segment originally was, which is what is actually available right now. What can you get on tap today? And so at the Torrance tap room, this is their menu from the day we were recording this. They have just so much to offer. Their coffee porter is a year round. That one kind of stands out as like you always see that if you search this brewery. I think it's one of their OGs. They have every style. They've got all kinds of IPAs. They've got Pilsners, Belgian, sours, farmhouse ale with kumquats. They've got a kumquat beer.
Kumquat.
They have something called a Rausch beer.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's called Smoke 'em If You Got 'em, and it's a Rausch beer, a light lager made with traditional beechwood smoked malt.
There's so much to talk about here. We do have breaking news. They have a beer called the White Peach Saison, which is a Saison with white peaches aged in a fighter feeder. Yeah.
Touchdown!
They do have
Unbelievable!
one. They have Imperials. They have a barley wine, which is truly one of my favorite things on the planet Earth.
I'm looking at a 12.9% BBA Imperial Honey Stout.
Yeah,
that is something I've never seen before.
It's an Imperial Honey Stout brewed with over 500 pounds of rare Meadow Farm honey.
Wow.
wanty to try. That's that's wild.
Yeah.
They have bottle pours. They've got the bottom line is if you like dark beers, you like sour beers, you like high ABV beers, you like low ABV beers, you like IPAs, sessions, German stuff, pretty much anything, they have it for you. They have beer to go. They do ship around California. We've confirmed this. And so they're available. And this is just the menu at the Torrance location. They also have, as we've mentioned, 3 other locations. So get to California and get your ass to Smog City.
Look out for this funny looking tree. That's their logo. That's them.
Kind of looks like the Tree of Life or something. It's like but with the city of Los Angeles skyline in the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool logo. Whoever thought of it is really smart and a genius, and I appreciate that.
All right, Smog City Brewing, thank you. As a Los Angelino, I can't wait to get in and check out your tap room, and this has been fun. So
send me pictures and stuff.
One last thing to do before we go away.
Last call.
I have a confession, and that is,
and this is my fault.
It is your fault.
It is my fault.
I lied the last time we were on these microphones because I said that the next time we dropped an episode, I will have seen Barbie and Oppenheimer, and that's not true. Because there's some travel on the books. There's some things happening. It doesn't matter. We're recording already. Who cares? The point is...
Life is stupid and it gets in the way of beer drinking, but I asked Steven to record early.
It doesn't matter. The point is there's one thing, just to date the episode, we're recording this right before we get to see the big movie events of the summer, and I am so excited, and we're going to talk about it anyway. I don't care that I haven't seen them yet. I will give thoughts in 2 weeks.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer is happening, people, and it's like...
It's a movement at this point.
I don't know what it's like where you... Like, because I live in LA, right? So when big movie events happen or big... Like, LA is a place where, like, you feel... If you're not from here and you land at the airport, you start seeing billboards for things that you've never seen before. Like, you're in Hollywood, right?
Can confirm.
And it's a weird time to be here because of the strikes and everything. And you know, we as artists hate to see it, but these 2 movies I've been excited for. I'm a Chris Nolan stan. I love everything the man does. And I've been excited for this movie for a very long time. And Barbie, I was skeptical about. And then I saw the cast, and then I saw the crew and the creators, and I was like, and then I saw the trailers, and I was like,
I feel the same way. In regards to Christopher Nolan, I just love all his stuff. I'm with you on that. I am as you may or may not know, if you listen to this regularly, you know I am a huge, huge Cillian Murphy fan. I will watch anything that man does. And let me tell you something. I know the reason why we've been looking so forward to this movie for so long. Because the first trailer came out like literally a year ago.
I know. And it was just like a trailer of nothing. It was like one frame and it just said Oppenheimer and a date. And I was like, this is wild because it's just like when I found out that because the release dates of these movies are on the same day, the exact same day. And that is crazy. And I thought that one of these movies was going to balk and move the date, and they just didn't. And that's insane. And so there's like, they're already writing articles about how this is going to be one of the most, this is an unprecedented box office weekend that's about to happen here. And I'm going to be a part of it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Are you doing the thing where you watch both movies in the same day?
So I'm not. I'm doing one.
Because I know a lot of people that are doing that. I think it's hilarious.
Wish I had that kind of time.
Yeah.
I like that I'm spacing them out a little bit. I'm seeing Oppenheimer first, which probably was a mistake, but that's okay. I am seeing Oppenheimer before the actual release date. So I was like, I will not wait.
Steven knows a guy.
I will not wait a second. But it's crazy that it's happening the same day. It's going to be I hope the movies are good, because it would really suck if we go watch these movies and they're just total
They're
letdowns.
all terrible.
But
nothing happened. They just stood around and talked the whole time.
At the end of the day, like, I think a lot of people don't go to, and myself included, I wasn't a big moviegoer for a long time because I was like, they're going to be on streaming in like 15 minutes. But
yeah,
listen, I went to see Mission Impossible the other day. I don't even watch Mission Impossible. I've seen one of the Mission Impossible movies. This was number 7. I've seen one. I had no idea what the like lore of it was. But I was like, Tom Cruise jumped out of a plane or something, and I just need to go watch why he did that. It was a great night. It was a great time.
Yeah. I saw the video of was this the movie, the newest one where he's riding a motorcycle off the cliff and then he jumps?
Yes.
So I saw a video of like how they shot that. And I was like, that's dope. Like, I love that. But yeah, I know what you mean. I am very excited for Barbenheimer. However, we have to give acknowledgement that this is not the first time that two blockbusters came out on the same day that were totally opposites. If you remember, I don't remember the year, but it was a long time ago.
Oh, I do. If are you about to talk Dark Knight to me?
Yes, I am.
2009, baby.
Ledger, 2009.
Or 2008, somewhere in there. One of those two.
Mamma Mia and the Dark Knight Heath Ledger movie came out on the same day. And I saw, somebody commented like, let's not forget about that. And then I saw a meme that said, and I quote, Mama Knight walked so Barbenheimer could run.
That's funny.
And I just...
Good work. The internet has come through in unprecedented form on this Barbenheimer thing. I mean, the memes, I have so many on my phone. We all do.
Yeah.
They're plentiful and frequent, and they are great.
I saw a picture of Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer holding Margot Robbie as Barbie, like on one of his arms. She's like, all like big smile and posing, and he's just holding her like brooding. And I was just like, this is the kind of energy I need in my life.
I don't want to, we can't give any spoilers because I have diligently stayed off the internet related to these movies and we haven't seen them yet. But I will say that Christopher Nolan said there's zero CGI shots in this movie, which means
thank you.
If you've seen the trailer, the man detonated a nuclear bomb. And he did. He detonated a small nuclear bomb for this movie. The man's insane.
Nolan's, he said, no, we're not, no CG, no, we need the real thing. And everyone was like, okay,
isn't that what this whole movie is about? We're not doing this.
Oh, yeah, he was going for authenticity. Now, I know you said that you're not doing both in the same day and you're starting with Oppenheimer, but let's just play the game. You're in the movie theater, you're going to spend, Oppenheimer, I think it's 3 hours and like 2 minutes or something. And Barbie's can't be more than 2.5. Probably 2.
It's probably,
I don't know the exact
it's probably
number.
2.5 would be my guess.
It's probably 2.5. That's fine. So roughly 6.5, 7 hours in the movie theater. What do you see first and why? What do you want to end the night on?
I feel the same way that I feel about I feel like I screwed up buying the tickets because of what I'm doing. I would rather see Barbie first and then Oppenheimer. I don't want to go from Oppenheimer, which, who knows? We haven't seen the movie, but the internet hype is saying this is Christopher Nolan's best movie, which the man directed Inception and The Dark Knight. Those are big words.
That's a tall order.
Yeah, them's fighting words. If this is his best movie, I don't know how you, then it's going to be my favorite movie. I'm just telling you now. My favorite movie is probably Inception, and if this is his best movie, it's going to be my favorite movie. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to watch Barbie after. I'm already excited for after Oppenheimer. I'm just I might see it again. I might see it twice in the theaters.
Yeah, I feel that way. I agree. I had a conversation with a friend recently, and he basically said it perfectly. He said, "What movie? If you're seeing them the same day, for you it's a little different. And I'm not, as of right now, I'm not doing same day. But if you're seeing the movies in the same day, what movie do you want to linger for a little bit longer, like in your head, in your mind, in your being. And I think for us as artists, me being the Cillian Murphy fan I am, it's Oppenheimer. I would want to see that second because I would want to live in that. However, Barbie got me hyped. Like when Barbie first was a thing, I was like, oh, okay, like that's cute. And then the same thing you did. I saw the cast, I saw the production creative team, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, wait a second. This is going to be really good, Gabe. Don't miss out. So I'm not going to miss out.
Yeah. It's either way you do it, I feel like is going to be a good experience. I just think, like you said, like I want Oppenheimer to linger in my brain a little long. I want to give it the space to do that. So yeah. I would, if given the choice. However, I know a lot of people that are doing that. That's a long day in the theater. You better.
You had to clear. You either had to call out of work or you're burning a Saturday. But that's a.
You got to hit that concession stand in between. You better have that AMC Stubs membership because
that $5 Tuesday bullshit. Yeah, you better hook that up. But yeah, I agree. Like I love going to the movies, but it's literally like a rent paycheck every time I go because the tickets are one, and then I must get popcorn every time I go to the movies. Like I just have to. And that's another $87. So it's tough, but there are certain movies I see that I'm like, I'm going to wait for streaming. I don't care how popular. These two, fuck no.
I mean, when it comes to Oppenheimer, the quotes going around are like from, like industry professionals, directors, and they're like, see it on the largest screen you can humanly find. So
yeah, see that's the other thing. That's what I want. Like, I feel like Barbie in my living room would be fine. I feel like Oppenheimer, I would want to be like, no, I want the full effect.
Yeah, just do it. The man releases a movie once every couple years. I'm still trying to understand Tenet. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times. I still don't know what's going on.
You can't, Steven, you can't question it. You just have to say yes. It's like improv. Just say yes and move on.
But I am suffice to say I'm hyped, and I watched Dunkirk today, which also the rewatchability on that movie, not great. I'll just be honest about it.
Really?
Great movie, but I mean, if you watch it again, this shit's boring. But I watched it nonetheless, and I've seen Interstellar recently, Inception. I am ready for a Chris Nolan summer. Bring it on. Save the movies for me, Chris.
Chrissy boy, he knows what he's doing.
All right, well, I'll
give Cillian Murphy the Oscar. Just give him the nom. You don't want to give him the award, fine, but just give him the nom, please.
He is a very good actor, I will say that, and I've seen him in mostly a majority of Christopher Nolan movies, but also some stuff when I was younger. And he's a very good actor, and I'm really excited he's having his day in the sun. So
I'm not even listen. This will be the last thing because we have to get out of here. I'm not even going to mention Peaky Blinders, even though it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite TV show of all time. Movies like The Party, Free Fire, he's in Dunkirk, he's in The Dark Knight movie. Like,
oh wow, you really are a fan.
This dude's a fucking chameleon, bro. Like,
I thought this was just a Peaky Blinders thing, but
No. Peaky Blinders started it. He was always the guy that I was like, oh yeah, he's in Dark Knight for like 10 minutes. And then I saw Peaky Blinders, and then I just like, I'll watch anything he does. He's incredible. But like, people are sleeping on this guy and they shouldn't be.
So get to the movies, get out there. You know what? Support the movie industry. We need it. And we will report back in a couple weeks, for real this time. I mean it. And until then, thank you, Smog City. It's been great. We'll see you in August, I think.
Peace out, fam.